Thanks so much, Kirk, and welcome, Roughnecks Nation. Thank you guys so much for coming out to Game 2 of the 2017 season. I hope when you guys came in, you guys got your 2017 t-shirts. I want to thank our sponsors, Hillcrest, Tulsa's Channel 8, and 97.5 KMOD for bringing you guys those awesome t-shirts. Speaking of new gear, if you guys haven't been to our team store yet, check out all the new gear that's in there. We have awesome, brand New Balance stuff in there that you guys need to go check out. So make sure before you guys leave tonight, head into the team store over there and check out all the new gear we got going on. You guys are for an exciting match tonight. We are glad that you guys are here. We got so much going on. One of the new things I want you guys to know about is we have this new game called Quick Pick. We're going to put this up on the facial board right here. Throughout the game, you're going to see Ritz crackers going on right here. If you guys take out your cell phones and snap a picture of that flying cracker, take that up to guest services and get yourself a prize. That'll be happening randomly throughout tonight and all season long. If you can snap a picture of that Ritz cracker, bring it up to guest services and get yourself a prize. Now, after the match tonight, make sure you guys stick around. These guys are going to come around, sign autographs, take selfies. They love saying hello, and thank you to our guys, to all of our fans. So make sure you guys stick around for that. The bar, the scoreboard bar, right over there, the Busch scoreboard bar is open. Make sure you guys check that out too. That'll be open for an hour after tonight's match over there. So make sure you guys check that out. We got the Dick's Sporting Goods Roustabout's man of the match going on. And then afterwards, we are going over to Lefties on Greenwood for the official after party. The players and coaches are going to come over there, and it's going to be a ton of fun. They're going to do mixed drink specials. They do $6 Roughneck 83 mixed drinks. It's an all ages after party though. So bring the kids, the players will be over there, and it will be a blast. It's just right outside of the entrance over there, over at the corner of Archer and Greenwood for the official after party at Lefties on Greenwood. Again, Roughnecks Nation, we are glad you guys are here. Get loud, stand proud, and cheer on your Roughnecks.
Greetings and welcome into downtown Tulsa, live from One Oak Field, as we get set to bring you the Tulsa Roughnecks and the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. The affiliation with the Houston Dynamo and, of course, the Tulsa Roughnecks with the Chicago Fire. Welcome in, everyone. I am Jeremy Poplin, joined by my partner Dave Saunders as we get set to bring you tonight's exciting matchup. Well, the Roughnecks recorded an impressive 4-1 victory over the Colorado Springs Switchbacks in the opener last Saturday, while Rio Grande Valley fell 1-0 at home to San Antonio, and it was the first ever matchup at the Toros' new HEB Stadium. Roughnecks got a pair of goals from Ian Suventussen, and one each also from Juan Kaffa and Francisco Ugarte in their opening night victory. Kaffa also picked up an assist on Ugarte's goal and earned a spot on the USL Team of the Week on his performance. The 3-goal win placed Tulsa atop the Western Conference standings for the first time in franchise history as soon as that game wrapped up. And Dave Saunders, you want to talk about an impressive way to kick off the season. We had it last week in the 4-1 victory.
Good evening, everybody. Yes, good evening to you, Pop. It really was a fantastic way to start this season. Totally different from last season. New faces we have to get to know. But boy, did we get to know some of them last week. And we can't wait to see them again in action tonight, Pop.
Earlier this week, we had a chance to catch up with the head coach of the Tulsa Roughnecks, Dave Vaudreuil, and we asked him about tonight's matchup with the RGV Toros. Not having any audio, there's a good look at the Pop and Vod show. You can catch that every single Monday on Facebook Live through the Tulsa Roughnecks Facebook page. And the one thing, though, that Coach Vod wanted to impress is that this RGV team is going to try to build from the back. They've got one of their centralized players, Charlie Ward, who most of the possession is going to go through. He is their playmaker in the middle, and very impressive player. Played every single minute last year for RGV, one of only two individuals, I believe, in the entire USL to accomplish that feat last week. And boy, when you have someone like that you feel comfortable with, Dave Saunders, being able to distribute and to be able to control the flow inside the pitch, you feel like that you've got one up on your opponent every single week.
Yeah, from what I've seen of him, a very impressive player. He also popped, to throw in another statistic, completed 67 passes last week in that San Antonio game. He's what makes them tick. It's going to be interesting to see how he comes up against the central midfield for the Roughnecks and how they will deal with him. Of course, he will have some defending to do against the Roughnecks, won't he? So, interesting matchup. But, yeah, looking forward to seeing Charlie Ward play as well as the Roughnecks, of course.
There's Juan Kaffa, the forward, Argentinian. What an impressive debut that he had last week, and we talked about kind of the emphasis on set pieces this year, and boy, did he get the season started off right with a bang with that opening goal.
What a fantastic strike. I mean, I think he fooled me, he fooled everybody. He certainly fooled the keeper with the way he went for the near post rather than the far. It was a great free kick, and he's going to be, you know, paramount tonight for all dead ball situations. And if you are the opposition tonight, you do not want to commit a foul in and around the box in the first few minutes, or for that matter in the 90 minutes, because Kaffa is so deadly from those free kicks.
There's Coach Vaudreuil wearing that suit. We asked him during the coaches show whether or not he was going to wear a suit every single week or not, and he said, as long as the weather holds off, you will see me in a suit every single weekend. Looking sharp there on the sidelines is Coach Vaught. Got the tie rocking. You can see the assistants there with him. He's got Lloyd wearing a suit tonight as well with the tie. See Kobe, the athletic trainer, sitting down there on the side of the bench, and can't think you can ask for a better debut for the Roughnecks. And he said that he was actually very impressed with the way that they played. Thought that maybe the first goal they gave up last week was a tad bit soft in his words, but as we've learned, that's part of the game, and you also have to capitalize on some of those mistakes in the supporter section.
Yeah, I think, good response after they went behind. And let's face it, it was a good finish. The lad, finished it with the outside of his foot, and Byers just beaten on that post. But they responded well, and I think that's why he was so pleased, Pop. And then to run in 4 goals, okay, Suventussen was presented with a couple, wasn't he? But, it was just what the doctor ordered. And, what a great thing for a new coach to come to your first game at your home ground and win 4-1. But he needs to follow it up tonight with his team and another one, please.
During the national anthem tonight, escorting the Roughnecks onto the pitch for the national anthem is the McDonald's starting 11. If your team would like to learn how to participate in the McDonald's starting 11, contact the Roughnecks at 918-744-5901. Well, we've got to talk about this weather. Absolutely fantastic as we are getting set and underway, and the temperature at kickoff. And the official weather forecast for tonight's match provided by the News on 6 meteorologist Travis Meyer. The weather for kickoff is 74 degrees. We've got a chance of rain that we are hoping will hold off until the match is over with tonight. But we are officially underway for game number 2 with the Roughnecks and the Rio Grande Valley Toros. I'd like to welcome everyone in, joining us on USLsoccer.com. Every bit of information you need from the USL is there. And might I throw in a bit of personal information as well. The live match statistics are incredible on USLsoccer.com. See these two teams settle in here in the early going. There's Ngoisia, the keeper. It's like RGV deciding to settle in a little bit here with some possession, and they will spray it wide. This one over the top of Kosuke. Kosuke now matching up, step over move from the outside of the corner, swings it in towards the arc. An open opportunity there for the Toros early, but Byers is on top of it. Nice build up there, kind of lulling the Roughnecks to sleep, and that ball placed in over the top over the defender.
Yeah, it was a great ball in from Luna, who is the centre forward, but it was a, good attack and a good build-up was the main thing. And Garcia, the Mexican there, just with a sort of fluffed finish, which didn't give Byers any problem. But they've settled in well here in Tulsa. Now it's the Roughnecks who need to get their foothold in the game.
Tonight's broadcast originating from the Bank of Oklahoma booth at 1-0 Field. Bank of Oklahoma proud to support the Roughnecks and bringing professional soccer back to the city of Tulsa. Our referees for this evening, John Freeman. And the assistants are Ryan Cook, Eric Bears, and Matt Trotter is the fourth.
Good crowd in. Always nice to see the families up there on the grass, getting involved with the Roughnecks, and we hope, as you said, Pop, the rain stays off and they can witness a tremendous game like the crowd who were here, just under 5,000 last week. But it's the away side here on the attack.
Ayala tried to play that one forward. Nice hustle on the tracking back there to take that ball away is Colin Fernandez, who's on loan from the Chicago Fire. Impressive debut for Fernandez. Roughnecks first bit of opportunity here on the attack. Nice give and go, slipped in inside the box, has opportunities here, and that ball is placed directly at the feet of Ngoisia.
Yeah, I think Kaffa's got his head in his hands there because it was such a good build-up, and in the end, he just, hit it straight at the keeper.
Junior Gonzalez, the coach, taking over for Cabrera. Ball played inside the box, run onto it, contact there, but the assistant will point towards the corner. And Cabrera, who got the call up and is now coaching the Dynamo, really did an incredible job last year for this Toros team to send them into just a fantastic start to the season for them and finishing there in the Western Conference. Here's Escalante from the corner. Left-footed in-swinger. We've got a little bit of contact, and this is typical.
We always get one of those, don't we?
Always.
We always talk about it, and then the referee will calm things down. Good refereeing, just gets in there and says, hey, come on, guys. Cut it out. Let's see you play some soccer.
Escalante plays this one short. It will play back out to Escalante. Now the service, the cross. Header gets to it, bounces free inside the box, and finally cleared out of trouble by Kaffa.
Yeah, all hands to the pump there. Defended it pretty well. Just going back to how they won the corner, there was a good sort of defensive midfield play from Colin Fernandez, who is the Chicago Fire loanee, as you said, Pop. And I think he's going to be very, very important to the Tulsa Roughnecks side. One of those players, along with Ayala, that'll be the central two that sit in there in front of the back four, and they go through that unsung hero work, making the balls for Kaffa and the likes to get forward.
Byers will send this one forward for the Roughnecks. I want to welcome those of you also watching in on Cox Communications, channel 1334. Nice ball play to the outside. Here's Tulsa. Playing towards the corner is Rivas. Rivas had a great game last week. Had his sister in town supporting him. Of course, Rivas coming over from the Sacramento Republic. Here's Kosuke. A little bit of trouble there on the outside, but is able to rebound, and tracking back also to help is Ugarte to knock the ball away there from Escalante.
They look dangerous coming forward, don't they? The men in white, the Toros, and you know, Tulsa have stood up to it well so far, but they're doing attacking with pace, and Luna looks a handful, doesn't he, up front?
This hybrid relationship between the Dynamo and RGV FC. Dynamo, Dave, control all aspects of the soccer operation, including the employment of the technical staff and the player selection. Dangerous ball played back out. Back onto the boot now of Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward slots it to the inside. Here's Garcia. Garcia turning, has a little bit of space. Ball played in. Kosuke gets there just in the nick of time in front of Escalante.
Yeah, Escalante was nearly in there, and as you say, Kosuke had to be there and get the important challenge in, but the Roughnecks have really had to soak up some defending here, because I've been very impressed with the attacking prowess of the Toros. Of course, haven't scored this season, lost at home 1-0, so they'll be up for this one, their first road trip of the season, and obviously the second game at home for the Roughnecks.
And as we were mentioning, Houston and the Dynamo control all aspects of player selection. Rio Grande Valley has the business side of the club, is pretty unique in MLS and RGV when it was launched last year, and now there have been a couple of teams that have emulated as the assistance flag is up on our near side. A lot of clubs have emulated this over the past year. There you see the assistance flag with the supporters group, the roustabouts there in the background.
Yeah, it's an interesting setup, that one, isn't it? And, you know, if it works, great, you know, and business side being looked after by one side and all the players' situations, you know, by the Houston Dynamo. So we'll see how that one pans out in the season.
Ball played deep, controlled there by Garcia. Fighting for it now in the center of the pitch between two Roughnecks players. Tracking back is Ayala. Ayala plays it back now. Settles with his left foot, sends forward, looking for Ian. Header goes off the backside, and now RGV will elect to build from the back line. Got to say congratulations as well to the Toros and their franchise for the opening of HEB Stadium there in Edinburgh. An amazing new stadium inside USL that everyone in that region should be extremely proud of. Was there last year, as we have a foul here in the center circle.
Ayala just going in, you know, studs up a little bit. No card, I don't think, but the referee just indicating there that he did go in a little bit with the studs showing, the cleats showing. So good refereeing, and Ayala won't get a card, but, you know, just going in a little bit late there.
Ayala, by the way, over 100 appearances in the second division in Mexico. Signing here in Tulsa. Back to HEB Stadium, was there last year and traveling on the road with the Roughnecks. Stadium wasn't quite completed yet, so they had to play on one of their practice fields, and you could see then we took the behind-the-scenes tour and what amazing facility that it was, and now that it is complete, looks to be one of the showcase pieces. Here's a shot from the outside directly at Byers, and that came from Charlie Ward from the outside. Byers all over it as it was hit directly at him.
As a keeper, you know, that's the kind of save you want early on in the game, isn't it? Good hit from Ward, but Byers, as you said, all over it, right behind it. No problem with that one at all.
Brian Byers coming over from Rio OKC, also was signed early on by the Energy in 2015. Long ball sprayed outside. Saved here, good bit of defending there by Corrales. Giveaway though by the Roughnecks in dangerous territory. Tripped, referee says play on. And then Fernandez taken down to the turf, the native of Downers Grove, Illinois.
Again, I would say it's very good refereeing, because the first one was the lad was looking for contact, the second one was contact, and that's excellent refereeing, and he was right on the spot to give that decision. Here's Kaffa.
Kaffa sends one inside the box, contact. And Gosia has it.
And you see, I was saying to you, I think a key to the game is, can the Roughnecks get the ball to Kaffa's feet? Can he pull the strings? And at the moment, he's not had very much of the ball, Pop, and that's why I think the Roughnecks are having to soak up. They're not struggling, but they're just having to play a lot without the ball at the moment. You know, Toros very impressively knocking the ball around.
Yeah,
and here they come again.
It's been a lot of the Toros here early. Now, this is almost picks up exactly where they left off in the second half last week. In the first half, not much possession at all for the Toros in their opening match against San Antonio. And in the second half, dominated most of the possession, still unable to come away with the equalizer in that game.
Yeah, and I think San Antonio just had one shot and they scored, didn't they, in the whole 90 minutes. I think it was after 14 minutes, if memory serves. So, you know, Toros had a lot of practice at possession, but as you say, just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net, with a potent force of Escalante, Luna and Murphy as well, unchanged for tonight's game.
Held 60% of the possession last week against San Antonio. Here's Kaffa, little chip inside the box. The assistant's flag is up. Oh, beautiful there from Kaffa.
And that's exactly my point. Okay, the assistant's flag goes up there. There's the assistant there with his flag out. But, you know, Kaffa gets on the ball and suddenly there's a buzz of excitement and something's happening. And it was, you know, what some other players wouldn't have tried. A little sand wedge up into the air over the top looking for Seventessen, excuse me. But, you know, Kaffa needs to be on the ball. It's an obvious thing to say. And it's an obvious thing that the coach will want.
On a dime was that chip as well inside the box. Well played there from Juan Pablo. Last week, the Roughnecks won possession against the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, 55% to 45%. And 4 opening goals for Tulsa. Header there from the center circle by Ayala. Here's Ugarte. Lays out wide, settled. Plenty of time here for Tulsa. Nice turn. Oh, beautiful step over move from Kaffa to change directions. Here's Tulsa with a bit of numbers, slides it to the outside, still on sides. Pull back over the defender, another move towards the byline. Oh, the missed bite from Seventessen. That would have been a highlight reel.
Well, he had a couple of tap-ins last week, didn't he? But that would have been absolutely spectacular. Danger not over here.
There's a long ball. That's Calistri trying to get to it, fighting off Gosia.
Well, what an amazing effort from Ian Seventessen. Here it is. The ball's going to come in from the right-hand side. That was a good piece of play as well. And there he is, and he's not that far away from it. Credit the defender Segal as well, because he just put him off at the last minute.
Well, and how about the bit of skill there from Ayala, too, to be able to make sure that cross gets off. There's a long check from the outside. Ayala there again on top. Goes by the wayside.
Yeah, I thought Ayala had just beaten his man one too many times, and it was, you know, one of those where the defender would put his foot out and concede the corner, but he did do him, and he put in the perfect ball, and it was just behind Seventessen. That's why he had to try the bicycle kick.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Byers with a bit of pressure. Forward settled by RGVFC.
Of course, we should mention, Pop, shouldn't we? The number 4 for the Roughnecks, Jadama, has come in for Bradley Bourgeois tonight at the heart of the defence. The only change in the back 4.
Yeah, Modu spent some time in the 2nd division there in Chile. Just over the top, as we have a Roughnecks player that is down at the far end of the pitch.
I think it's Calistri, as he was trying to put that ball in. I think the defender was trying to make his tackle, and it's one of those that, you know, is slightly late, but the referee doesn't give it because the ball's played into the box. and he's getting to his feet now. He's way up at the other end of the field.
RGV decided to keep possession here, playing with a man up now. Have some space there on the outside. That has also brought some movement now on the Roughnecks bench. They'll play this one wide. Kyle Murphy settles with the chest. Sends one in towards the penalty spot and headed out of play. Kyle Murphy last week had a golden opportunity to tie that game up against San Antonio and just missed. They're looking for contact there inside the box. Referee says play on. And this will be a goal kick as Ugarte fought off the challenge from Ruben Luna.
And just before that was our man Jadama that I was just mentioning, the number 4 who's come in for Bradley Bourgeois there, just wiping his face with the shirt. He's got the Kobe's been busy, I think, on his left wrist, hasn't he? With two of the players have got bandages on the left wrist. But just before we saw Ugarte there, that was good place from Jadama. There's the big man up front, just tried the bicycle kick, and 2 goals last week, of course, 2 tap-ins against Colorado last week here at this very stadium.
What a debut for Suventussin. Roughnecks on the attack. Kosuke up off the back line and just cleared out of play now. And they will say this one actually came off of one of the Roughnecks players.
And it's funny, isn't it, as a striker, I was saying to you, Pop, wasn't I, after the first one where he tapped it in, you know, because of the mistake by the keeper, I said to you, he wouldn't get an easier goal than that. And he certainly did, didn't he? And, you know, his second one was even easier. So good for him. And all strikers like to score. They don't care where they score and how they come in. He's chalked up 2 for the season. Good play from him.
Just into the 17th minute, that foul is on Ugarte from behind.
I think the Roughnecks have had a good last 5 minutes, haven't they? And they've started to get the ball at their feet and knock it around a little bit. As I say that,
feels like they have the feel a little bit more to this match.
Yes.
Than what they did. They've settled in a tad bit.
We've seen 2 good sides on display here.
Ugarte comes over with a simple touch, past one defender and past another. Now sends the ball forward, a bit too heavy off of the boot. Looking for Calistri. Ian Suventussin was in the vicinity as well, and RGV will elect to go short. Now here's the giveaway. Roughnecks were able to capitalize last week. Rivas unable to take advantage of it this time.
And I do like the way that Rivas and Calistri swap wings on a regular basis. You can see Calistri there, the number 7, just coming into the play there, and he's gone on the left, and Rivas, who had that last shot, he's gone on the right, but they do switch. And of course Kaffa plays in between them, and up front is Ian Suventussin. So a nice sort of 4 that can mix it up there.
New Balance is now the official sportswear provider of the Tulsa Roughnecks FC. Look for a full line of New Balance products in the Roughnecks team store at One Oak Field. This RGV roster has 14 players who returned from the team's 2016 inaugural season, with 6 new signees. Christian Lucatero's on a season-long loan from Houston Dynamo and is eligible for recall by the Dynamo at any time. Have several other members that are on loan, including Jorginho James from Harborview FC in the Jamaican Premier League. Good hard tackle there by the Roughneck defender. That's Corrales. Head to your local Green Country Chevy dealer and take home the new face of Strong, the 2016 Silverado 1500.
Yeah, I think Mr. Murphy felt that one, didn't he? That was a crunching challenge. We could hear the ball bobbling around then off legs from up here, Pop. Corrales there with the tackle. I like him at left back. I think, well, I like the whole back 4, but Corrales looks good to me at left back.
Escalante, both hands in the air, looking for movement. First time he went short, this one. Swings to the outside, cleared away. Roughnecks now, defense has to get out of the area. Throw in there in front of the RGV bench.
I like that defending from the Roughnecks. They rolled back, bar none, and they defended it extremely well.
From midfield, Eric Bird. Little bump from behind. They're going to get Ayala.
Yeah, a little bump from behind, and I think they want to have a little word. The referee wants to have a little word with Ugarte, maybe just saying no more, or I'm going to have to produce the yellow card. It's quite a long way out, this one. I'd say about 30 yards, pop left of centre. Do well to beat Byers from here.
Been impressed with the way that referee John Freeman's handled things.
I remember him from last year, and I thought he refereed the game very well last year. Don't ask me what game it was that the Roughnecks, what opposition it was, but I remember him from last year, and I thought he was on top of play. He related well to the players, good communication, and didn't want to get the cards out too early.
It's like a three-man wall here. Played in. Ugarte had to get up in the air to get a piece of that one. He does. Kaffa providing some pressure here as they play all the way back to the back and sent forward over the halfway line. Ugarte has his hands full with Luna, and now as Luna goes down, they'll point in the direction of RGV.
This one's a bit closer, isn't it? This one's 20, 21 yards out. I thought Ugarte was a little bit unlucky there, Pop. I thought the original foul was from the lad who got the free kick in the end.
One thing that we've seen from Luna so far is when the ball is in the air, watch him try to battle for position. Uses kind of that frame to his advantage there. I thought he kind of undercut Ugarte a bit there. A bit unlucky is Ugarte, as we will see the replay here. There he is kind of battling there. Okay, kind of pulled down from behind there just a tad bit from Ugarte.
I get the pulling down, and I can understand why, well, we'll come to the free kick, but I think the original foul might have been by the striker, but there we are.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Outside of the 18. About 4 to 5 yards. Driven ball, and Byers is there to parry over the top of the bar.
Good hit, good save. I'm sure we'll get a replay. Byers was right in the right place at the right time. Here it is. Comes up, right-footed, round the wall, and Byers is there. Right at him, two hands firmly on the ball, corner.
Textbook there on a well-driven ball from Byers. He just send it out. Now he wants everyone to push forward. Ball sent in, saved. And now the assistance flag is up. All the way over the byline, and Roughnecks will survive here as we are 23 minutes in.
And I think they've defended everything thrown at them pretty well so far. You know, Byers is obviously a class goalkeeper, but in front of him he's got a great back four, and of course everybody comes back to defend. And so far so good. 23 minutes gone, but I am impressed by the opposition here tonight.
There's Kaffa, center of the pitch. Slots it left, looking for Rivas. Unable to get there in enough time is Rivas. Well defended in the back end. There's a tumble, and this will be in favor of the Roughnecks as Fernandez picks himself up. Fernandez last week I thought was great. Homegrown signee from the Chicago Fire on loan here in Tulsa. 45 of 53 passes in 90 minutes completed.
And yet, as I said earlier on in the commentary, he's one of those unsung heroes to me. You wouldn't have noticed him do those passes last week, and the tackles he put in and the tackles he's put in tonight. Good player, class player. Good to have him here in Tulsa.
Spent some time with the under-20s there with Tab Ramos and the U.S. men's youth team, and also Peru's under-20 team as well.
Talking of Chicago Fire, not a bad little debut from Mr. Bastian Schweinsteiger. Header after 17 minutes, I think it took him, didn't it? 2-2 draw in the end, wasn't it?
Throw in from almost the corner. Ugarte over the top. There with Luna one more time. These two teams are 1-1-1 all time against each other. Last meeting, August 18th of last year, RGV with the 5-0 victory over the Roughnecks.
And also throw into that, Pop, I was doing my stats as well. The Bird and Luna both scored against Tulsa last year. So, you know, they've got some teams that know how to score against Tulsa. Having said that, as we keep saying, it's a totally different team. It's a totally different feel. And, you know, it was kicked off so well last week. But that's last week. Here's tonight. You know, what's coming up for 25 minutes gone. Pretty even, although, as we keep saying, we're impressed with the opposition here tonight. The Roughnecks having to really work hard.
Yeah, you saw the graphic there on Robert Luna. He actually joined the club mid-season last year and scored 8 goals in 13 matches. Extremely difficult to knock off the ball, crafty inside the box. And he's going to be a handful for the Roughneck defense. Played towards the center of the pitch. Kaffa looking there for the run. Suvantussin running onto it. Can he get a piece of it? Kind of bouncing around there in the box. Back out and unable to get anything on that ball is Kaffa. The Roughnecks will rebuild.
Yeah, Suvantussin just ran into a lot of traffic there, didn't he? Couldn't quite get a shot away, and in the end it came back to Kaffa with his right foot, and he didn't really get any connection on it that he would have liked.
Kosuke continues on his run to the outside. Little give and go, and then a shove from behind. And that will be whistled. Crafty vet there. Of course, on the member of the Red Bull Club, won the Supporters Shield in 2013. Now, after he left MLS, went to play in Poland, second division for a while, wanted to play overseas and kind of get a feel for the game there as well. Interesting story is Kosuke.
Yeah, he's experienced, isn't he? And he's done well at, slotted in well at right back.
Came to the United States not being able to speak English. Then when he was through in Poland, he came back and signed with the Silverbacks in Atlanta. Gary Smith had signed him, and he had some experience with Gary Smith, because Smith was there with the Colorado Rapids. Here's Byers coming off of his line. One touch to the outside to the byline. Luna's there, but Ugarte with the header out on the clearance. Dangerous living here are the Roughnecks. Still not out of complete danger yet. Ball played to Escalante towards the corner and climbing all over the top of the back. And the referee now has called a foul in favor of the Roughnecks.
Yeah, Calistri was mown over there, but just to talk about Byers there, a big smile from Calistri with the referee. But, you know, Byers, I think he realised it's one of those nightmare situations for the goalkeeper. You start to come out, you think, am I going to make it? And I think he thought, no, I'm not going to. The only thing we can say is that Luna, I think it was driven wide. Good ball in, but Ugarte, like a good centre-back, still held his position. Here it is. Byers doesn't get it. Doesn't commit the foul, which is good. But look at Ugarte's position there. That's class defending. And again there, gets the tackle in.
Yeah, because he was stuck in kind of a difficult position there, able to be in the right spot to get that header out. But as soon as he saw that he didn't get as much clearance on it, knows he has to step there towards the offensive player, and did a great job there managing it. Fans, make sure you tune in to the USL's weekly show on Sirius XM FC Channel 85 on Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern for the latest news and information from around the league. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
It's a good game, Pop. Two good sides. You know, we await the deadlock to be broken here, but two good sides wanting to play the game in the right way.
Nice ball back. Kaffa out wide. Towards the back post, it's there and just missed. Oh, the sliding effort. Come flying in there is Calistri, and Joey just missed having the first one on the board of the night.
That ball there, first of all from Kaffa, was just off our replay there, but that ball in from Corrales was a driven ball. And as you say, Calistri just arriving too late. I thought it was in. I think you thought it was in, Pop, but that was a good move. But again, I say, when Kaffa's on the ball, the Roughnecks tick.
Calistri has a history of scoring #2 all-time in Northwestern soccer history for goals in the back of the net. Had 14 appearances with the Chicago Fire. 2 shots on goal last week, and of course the assist in the 75th minute. Comes RGVFC. Driven ball there. Kai Green looking towards the back post. Byers had to take 2 steps back, has it, collects it. And now the Roughnecks from the opposite side of the pitch. Saventussen gets a touch to the outside. Looking for somewhere to go. Ugarte's in support. Fernandez. Hit there by Ward. Draws a foul. You know, one thing we did not bring up last week, my friend, is the fact that as impressive of an athlete as Ian is, and he is quite that, is another foul now in the center circle, and the referee comes over and maybe has to step in between the two. Kaffa wanted to go in a hurry. That's Luna that's there as well. Now the referee talking with Ward, John Freeman, making sure that doesn't want to have anything else happen between the two. But
Calistri, I thought it hit the defender. He controlled it himself, and that's really good play from him because he had to react quickly there, Pop, because that was a shot from Saventussen that really would have rocketed against his feet. The keeper went absolutely mad. He wanted an offside, but Calistri breaks the deadlock.
that's what I was just getting ready to say. It looked like Anguotia was complaining that he thought that Calistri was in offsides position on that, but it was Calistri who was there to knock down the shot from Saventussen. Turns and finishes. That was a nice turn from Luna, but an even better job there as Jadama Modu having to fight off the forward there from RGV. Here's the throw in from Kai Green.
Yeah, you're almost always at your most vulnerable just after you've scored. They've got to really keep this shut now. Here's Ward.
Ward turns, looks, plays back towards the halfway line. Kai Green finds himself with a bit of space here on the touchline. Left-footed ball comes curling in. Kemura Kosuke comes up to grab that one, and the shot from the outside goes just left from Eric Bird.
Yeah, again, danger. You know, as I said, you've just scored. You've got to keep your wits about you. And there was Bird showing us what he can do. It was a good connection, but no save for Byers to make. But just going back to the goal, I mean, Calistri, okay, you can say he was in the right place at the right time, but the control there, because I say again, Saventussen's shot, it was a shot towards goal, and it rather hit him, but he recovered so well to get the ball from under his feet, and a confident finish past the keeper. Difficult from our angle, I think, Pop, to say whether the keeper had a case for the offside.
That ball stayed in, and Kaffa has it now. Past one defender, inside the box, will leave it to the back. Fernandez crosses over. Roughnecks will switch sides completely. Now go back to the opposite side. Oh, Ian was there. Almost got a touch on it. Maybe a tad bit upset with himself, as you can see there. Is the big 6'6" man from UAB. I was going to finish my point. We did not bring up last week the incredible athlete that he is, but also his father. His father was ranked 65th in the world one time in tennis. Competed in several ATP events, including the French Open, Australian Open, and Wimbledon.
Ah, good old Wimbledon, eh?
Was a singles player and a doubles player. Thought that might bring a smile to your face. 35th minute, Roughnecks leading 1-0.
But I take your point. You know, he comes from a family that's a sporting family, and he is an athlete. Ian is an athlete. You know, he's good in the air, but, you know, not just good in the air. He's quick across the grass, and he knows how to finish, as we saw last week. And he's working hard for the cause tonight.
Played several sports, grew up just right outside of Orlando. There's the Green Country Chevy Dealers Ball Kids, Andromeda tonight. Escalante's cross knocked out. Oh, they'll say it came off of Escalante.
It's just given the Roughnecks a lot of confidence. What a difference a goal makes, isn't it? You know, and here they come again with the goal scorer,
Calistri got some pace with it. Turns, looks, plays a nice ball with the right. Defender there just in the nick of time to clear it out of the box. Roughnecks will reset, however, with the ball to Ugarte, and now Kosuke. Look for Calistri with the chest, and he in there in offsides position.
But again, I say, what a difference. You know, the Roughnecks had to soak up pressure early on. They slowly turned the wheel, got themselves into the game with confident play, and then they get this goal and they're starting to knock the ball around. But let's not forget the Toros are a good side. We've seen them tonight. Two good sides on display. But there we go. You see, that's a long ball that the Roughnecks have forced them to play, and it's given the possession back to the men in orange, the home side, the Tulsa Roughnecks, who lead by a goal to nil.
As of right now, RGV with the slight edge in possession, 53% for RGV, according to the stats. Tulsa, though, leading the way in pretty much every other statistical category. There's a shot from the outside, not much on it. Easy play.
Yeah, Rivas from a long way out there. I think he'd do well to beat the keeper from there, but another chance on goal for the Roughnecks.
Kai Green, back to Ward. Escalante turns, looks, lets one go with the left foot. Byers is there. Escalante joined the Dynamo on loan for the remainder of the 2016 season last year. Made his first MLS start and third straight appearance at the Seattle Sounders FC. Was a substitute as well against New York City FC. This is all last season. Referee now wants a word with Luna, because we will have no more of that, my friend.
Well, I think, you know, I can tell you exactly what he said there. He said, you fouled there, there, and there. Be careful, because I'll have to show you yellow card for what they call persistent fouling. And I think that was good refereeing. It was a handball by Ugarte, but the first foul was by Luna.
Garcia. Bird looking for Garcia. Good touch away from Garcia there. Calistri taking off the ball. Foul in favor. That was Kai Green that came up. 22-year-old Kai Green played 4 seasons at Seton Hall. Scored 5 goals as a senior. He's a South Orange, New Jersey native. Corrales has that one knocked away. Corrales has 34 appearances for the Cuban national team. Also played the 13 and 15 Gold Cup for Cuba. And was a member of that squad that won the Caribbean Cup in 2012, the first ever for his home country. Long ball, looking for Rivas. Green wins that. Stepped in front of, though, by Corrales. Working there with Rivas, and then the clearance, and a throw-in now for Tulsa.
A little spring in the step of Tulsa now, isn't there? You know, they've just taken a little bit of the wind out of the Toros' sails here. I think the game's slightly changed for me, and it looks like the home side's on top. Obviously, you've got to keep the back door shut, but the little spring in the step now from the men in orange.
Modu coming up off the back line. His first start for the Roughnecks.
Yeah, I've been impressed with him, Pop. Have you? I think he's slotted in well at the back, centre-back role there.
Well, and the thing about Modu is, and Coach Vaudril will tell you, one of the reasons they signed him was for his composure and also his technical ability. Placing him there in the center across the back line. Nice touch around to the outside. Saves it before it goes over the byline. The cross. The header comes out to Ayala. And that one was wide of frame. It did not stop, however, Ngoisha from going out to try to challenge that one, and it results in a goal kick now for RGVFC.
Yeah, I think Ngoisha had it covered here. If we see the ball come out to Ayala, he just kind of loops that shot, but we could see from our angle, probably better than the keeper, that it was always going wide. But another effort on target from the Roughnecks.
41st minute. Center of the pitch is Bird, who plays back to Ward. Ward now steps over as Garcia. Little 1-2 now, back and forth between Ward and Garcia. Step over from Bird, Escalante. Not much of a clearance, and here's Kai Green with a tad bit of space. Oh, out the challenge there is Corrales, and that ball caught Corrales in, well, a place that not many people want to be caught in, quite frankly.
The midriff, as we would say in England.
Yes, I was searching for words.
Yes, I know you were. I was trying to help you out, my friend. It's Corrales. It's funny for everybody else, but it's not for Corrales. But he's okay. He's okay.
Yeah.
Good. Round of applause from the faithful here at One Oak as well.
On a permanent resident status, he received that after he received his travel visa and to visit family, did not go back. Is on a permanent residence status now after leaving Cuba. Fernandez steps in front to take away.
And there is our man Fernandez, just doing the unsung hero work, getting the tackles in, winning the ball back. That's his job in the team. The lad from Chicago Fire. Wonderful, wonderful player, and good to have him here.
Bird. Also trying to hang on. Oh, a ball there, dangerous, came off of the bottom of the boot of Ugarte. That was a well-played ball in from the outside.
That is just the perfect ball, isn't it? As you know, as the defender, Pop, you know, it's the one that's kind of behind you and in between the keeper, and you know what to do.
It
and
makes you second guess.
yeah, someone puts the foot out, that could have been in the back of the net. Corner, though.
Right-footed ball, swings in. Modu got up. Got a piece of that one, now to the opposite side.
Yeah, there's our friend Modu there with that important flick. So it's a throw-in for Kai Green on this near side.
Native of Gambia is Modu Jadama. Kai Green, the man from Seton Hall, with the throw. Calistri now pacing. A bit of press, and that will be a foul on Kosuke, who comes up off the back line. One of the areas that Coach Vaught wanted to stress during this week's game, he didn't feel that Ward there in the middle had as much pressure on him from San Antonio last week, and they wanted to provide a little bit more press, kind of surround him with bodies this week. I think they've done a pretty decent job of that so far. Last thing that you want to do now is give up an equalizer here towards the end of the first half. Comes to the outside. Ward. Crossed in. Fernandez gets to it first. Finds Kaffa. Kaffa has help to the outside. Calistri. Calistri's cross. Fernandez just out of his reach and over the byline. Boy, quick counterattack there, showing you exactly kind of the speed, and it was all due to Kaffa kind of holding up just for the right amount of time to play to the outside.
You've used exactly the words I was going to use. It was a very, very quick counter, and there's Calistri in our shot there. You know, he's been impressive. He's got the goal. He plays on the left and the right, and we've got a minute added on, my friend, at the end of this first half, a minute's extra time.
All of that counter, though, is made by Kaffa.
Yeah.
Holding up on that defensive line, allowing his overlapping run to the outside to get there. And the wily veteran from Argentina made it work.
And you talk about, you know, Charlie Ward quite correctly in sitting deep, the number 8 for the Toros, but he's kind of in the area where Kaffa likes to play, because Kaffa's playing in front of the sitting 2 midfielders. So it's an interesting battle going on there. But I think you're right. I think they have stopped Charlie Ward from playing as we get to the half-time whistle. He's still good, but good half for the Roughnecks.
An impressive first half from the Tulsa Roughnecks as they have the 1-0 lead on the goal in the 31st minute. There from Joey Calistri. And they will head into the locker room now with that 1-0 lead, and we'll head down to the pitch here in just a moment to catch up with the head man of the Roughnecks, David Vaudreuil. And we've noticed this now, instead of just heading directly into the locker room, the Roughnecks players kind of gather there for just a brief moment. And we'll find out exactly what's on the mind of the boss from the Tulsa Roughnecks here in just 1 minute. Couple of your quick thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, they really had to soak up the pressure from the impressive opposition, the Toros. They did that. They got themselves into the game. The wheel started turning. The goal came at just the right time. And I think it's a very even game, but I would just put the Roughnecks slightly ahead.
We're going to go down to Paige Martin, who has the head coach of the Tulsa Roughnecks, Dave Vaudreuil. Paige?
This game was to maintain the quick combination play from the Toros. How do you feel your team's fared up to that play so far?
Well, we knew they're a good team. It's not been easy. We've never got a hold of Garcia, the number 13. He's been sitting behind our 2 defensive midfielders free for a majority of the game, and then even when we try to get him marked up man-to-man, we're still having some problems. So, you know, when we are playing the ball quickly and moving hard off the ball and keeping our own combination, our own possession, we do fine. If we play a little slow and we play too many long balls, or we play back to the keeper, you know, then we give them easy balls back. So I want to just have a little more of the ball, mark up quicker, especially when we have the ball. If we have that guy marked up before, then he's not going to have an easy time of it, and we should be able to continue to take over the game. But, you know, pretty good game right so far. I'm happy we're up 1-0.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. All right, we'll be right back right after this commercial break.
Finally found my
All right, welcome back to halftime of Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer, live from One Oak Field in Tulsa. I'm Jeremy Poplin, joined by Dave Saunders at halftime with the Tulsa Roughnecks and the 1-0 lead over the RGV FC Toros. And Dave Vaudreuil seemed impressed with the first half. A couple of things there that he wanted to see kind of changed when they come out of the locker room from the second half, but I thought his thoughts kind of echoed exactly what we talked about. Maybe a little bit of more press, trying to mark up a little bit quicker, and seemed to maybe want to get in the flow of action a little bit quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with the coach more. We said, they had to soak up some pressure earlier on, Pop, but he's made the point that, he would like to have more of the ball, and they've got to mark Garcia in the middle, the number 13. So impressive from the coach. He's clearly seen what he's going to do, and he'll be telling the boys in the locker room now what they have to do in the second half.
We talked about some of the keys to the game, and I thought you saw it right there at the very end. You've been kind of bringing those points up throughout the match. Having Kaffa on the ball is one of the most important aspects for the Tulsa Roughnecks throughout the entire season. You saw him there on the quick counterattack, and when he's on the ball, he just seems to make things happen.
Absolutely. I mean, he wasn't on the ball for the first few minutes, and I think it showed. And then he gets on the ball. I remember him just lobbing the ball forward and making something happen over the top of the defense. And then he slowly got into the game, found some space, and he's what makes the Tulsa Roughnecks tick. He did it last week. He's doing it again.
You can see some of the highlights here from the first half that we'll get into here in 1 second. There's Ian Suventussin, who was warming up from earlier this evening. Kind of been quiet night for him. Has had a few moments there where he's been able to get the touch on the ball, but had a pretty impressive opportunity here in the early going. But as you can see here, here's the first bit of danger from the Roughnecks. And right here, one of the first chances that they have, a ball that's well hit right at the keeper.
Yeah, they had to soak up some pressure. Then they had this free kick to deal with. Byers there in the wall, and he would have been pleased early on to make that save.
Here's the quick counterattack. That's Bird, who's quickly coming down, and tracking back there from behind is Fernandez. That is an individual that we've talked a lot about in the first half, and how important that Colin Fernandez has meant to the Roughnecks.
I've said it in the commentary. Unsung hero, does a lot of the work for men like Kaffa, who's on the ball here for the next chance.
To the outside. That started another attack here for the Roughnecks. Here's a bit of defending. The ball came off, goes there across the byline. Here's the shot from Suventussin, and Calistri happened to be right there. And as you quickly pointed out, that's not necessarily Calistri being in the right place at the right time, but he still had to settle that and turn and score the goal.
He did, and then they had another chance there. Suventussin nearly on the end of that one, and the chances kept coming after that goal. But you're right, yeah, the ball came in. It was a tough one to control. But it was a great finish from Calistri.
Yeah, and Ayala right there with that chance there at the very end. So what are we expected to see here in the second half from Tulsa?
Well, obvious thing to say would be an early second goal for Tulsa would really help, wouldn't it? But, the opposition, let's not say, they are not without opposition tonight, Tulsa. They're a good side, the Taurus. They've come in, so they need to be defensively strong, which they have been so far. But I'll repeat again, if they can get Kaffa on the ball, get a second goal, they can really try to settle this game and see the 3 points home.
And I expect to see much more possession as well from the Roughnecks. I know RGV was controlling just a tad bit more than 50% of the possession. I expect to see that kind of shift back towards the Roughneck side in the second half.
Yeah, I would like to see that. Coach made the point to Page, pitch side there, that he needs to have more possession of the ball, keep it away from the likes of Garcia. Ward has had a little bit of the ball, deep, but he's not been penetrative. So I think if they can, have more possession of the football, get that second goal, let's hope that it will be 3 points for the Roughnecks.
Roughnecks are on top 1-0 after the goal from Joey Calistri in the 31st minute. We'll take a timeout and come back with more as we get set for the second half. Live from One Oak Field, Jeremy Poplin, Dave Saunders. This is Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer.
Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
As we enter week 2 of the USL season, let's take a look back at 2017's opening weekend. The Kings Cup started us off where St. Louis took on a new look under the helm of Preki, and with only one returning starter. The game ended up 0-0 as Louisville FC couldn't take advantage of their 16 corner kicks. Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 controlled most of the game's possession, but with their high-pressure Galaxy 2 were able to take advantage of a Vancouver own goal and slipped away another to come away with a 2-0 win. 6 goals, 5 yellow cards, 2 PKs, New York Red Bulls 2 and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds played to a 3-3 draw as Corey Hertzog impressed with 2 goals, including the Riverhounds' opening brace of the 2017 season. A record crowd of 8,021 in Richmond watched their home team defeat the Harrisburg Islanders 1-0. Goalkeeper Travis Warwick kept his team in the game, denying a Harrisburg PK in the 13th minute, and the kickers responded with Connor Shinovsky's dominant set-piece goal in the 51st minute. The 25th home opener for the Charleston Battery ended with a 2-1 win for the club over FC Cincinnati, thanks to midfielder Justin Portillo, who notched an assist in the opening win along with the go-ahead goal. The Tampa Bay Rowdies opened their inaugural USL slate against a familiar foe, Orlando City B. In front of a large sellout crowd, they set a new attendance record. George Ristoff, the club's all-time leader in goals, slipped a PK right up the middle in the 57th minute in order to seal the win for the Rowdies. 3 seasons, 3 opening day wins for the Tulsa Roughnecks as they routed the Colorado Switchbacks 4-1. Colorado got on the board first in the 17th minute thanks to Shane Malcolm, but Tulsa responded with 4 unanswered goals to take the 4-1 win. Duke LaCroix and Carlos Alvarez connected twice to lead Orange County SC with 2 goals and 2 assists apiece to spoil Reno 1868's opening game as a member of the USL. Coming off a 2016 trip to the USL Cup Finals, the Swope Park Rangers found themselves behind Oklahoma City Energy FC in the 24th minute, but responded with 3 unanswered goals to win 3-1 in their home opener. 6,890 fans were in attendance to see the inaugural game at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex, but Jay Chapman set up Ben Spencer in the 8th minute as he tucked away the lone goal of the game to give Toronto FC2 the win. The Real Monarchs opened their season with a 2-1 win over Portland Timbers 2, taking advantage of corner kicks by netting both goals off Charlie Adams' set pieces. An early goal for Seattle Sounders FC2 in the 5th minute wasn't enough for the home team to hold on, as Sacramento Republic FC responded with 2 second-half goals to get the 2-1 win on the road. HEB Park was the shining moment for RGV as Too Little Too Late was a storyline for the Toros, who found their momentum late in the second half but fell 1-0 to San Antonio FC. Billy Forbes notched the game winner in the 15th minute, giving San Antonio their first win in the South Texas Derby. And that's your look around the league for USL Network. I'm Morgan Conklin.
USL. Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders back with you here live from One Oak Field as we are getting set for the second half coming up here in a few moments. But quickly, we want to make a quick note about the affiliation with the Chicago Fire. The Tulsa Roughnecks are proud to be in this affiliation with the Chicago Fire, and we've got a couple of players that are in the lineup tonight. I know one of your favorites in Fernandez. We'll get to Calistri in a minute, but Fernandez, as you said, blue-collar player and maybe one of the more important pieces to the puzzle.
When you play Coach Vods' 4-2-3-1, he's one of the 2 that sits there with Ayala. I've been impressed. He does a lot of the unsung hero work. He can put a good pass across the field. He's a great, great player to have, Pop.
And Joey Calistri, one of the homegrown players from the Chicago Fire, who has a goal here tonight to give the Roughnecks the 1-0 lead. We have a feature on him from the Chicago Fire, and what an impressive player that he's been.
Joey, being part of the PDL program and the academy, it must have been cool then all of a sudden put on that Fire shirt for the first time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, my first appearance and chance to play with the club against New York was incredible, and you know, I've just been trying to learn as I go here and help the team in any way I can. And luckily, Pano's trusted me a little bit, and hopefully, I can reward him.
Being a homegrown talent, nurtured in the academy, what did that teach you?
We learned a lot, you know, about playing with the ball, possession with the ball. That was a big key in the academy growing up, and I think that's helped a lot, especially in Pano's system. He stresses that a lot, you know, having possession and wearing a team out. So I think it's definitely helped get me ready.
I know you didn't like the way things ended in Colorado, but it was a thrilling moment for you in the 81st minute, picking up your first MLS goal. What went through your head when that ball went in the net?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great team play and a great build-up. David played a great ball across to Rodrigo, who made a great run, and then he headed it back, and I was able to get in a good position to slot it home. But, that was just an unbelievable feeling. It's hard to describe, but, the most important thing is getting results, so we're going to look to do that in the next game.
Grew up watching the Chicago Fire, grew up in Deerfield, Illinois. Who were some of your favorite players watching as a youth?
There's a lot. I really enjoyed watching guys like Chris Rolfe and Ante Razov, scoring goals, and then there were some warriors back there like C.J. Brown, Chris Armas, guys that I really looked up to.
A guy like Razov, you're a finisher. What can you learn from watching the legend Razov?
Just look at his movement in the box, and you could see that he's always looking for little half yards to try to create space to, make a chance for himself, and he usually puts it in too. So,
maybe on par with your education at Northwestern was your experience with the Chicago Fire as an intern. What was that like, Joey?
That was fun. I got to see the club from a different perspective, I think, and I think that's kind of important when you're from, I'm a local kid from Chicago playing for his hometown team, so I think it was cool to kind of get a behind-the-scenes look at what goes on to make everything happen.
Joey Calistri from the Chicago Fire, who's on loan here for the Tulsa Roughnecks. And one of the things we need to mention about Calistri is he was only one of 20 homegrown players that were selected for the MLS homegrown team in the All-Star festivities, and he joined not only Jordan Morris of Seattle, and what has he meant not only to the Sounders but to the men's national team as well, but also Jordan Hamilton of Toronto, Jack McBean, who we've seen with Galaxy 2 play here at 1-0 Field as well. Calistri is probably in the deserving honor without doubt, and looks to be a very important piece of the future for the Chicago Fire here in the very near future. But we're going to hang on to him in Tulsa as long as we can, as the rain has started to fall here at 1-0 Field. We thought that this might hold off for a little bit longer, but it looks like that weren't able to do so. We're going to have a sub coming up here in just one moment that we will run down for you, as we will see Todd Wharton make his way onto the pitch for RGV. Let's run down some of the stats here in the first half, if we can, with Tulsa leading 1-0. Possession breaks down this way: 53% to RGV, just 46% to Tulsa. The aerial duels won. Tulsa by far in the lead, 66%, 9 interceptions, only had 2 offsides, and no corner kicks for the Tulsa Roughnecks there in the first half. As far as the attacking side of things, 8 shots for RGV, 7 for Tulsa. 3 of those are on target for Tulsa. 4 of the 8, so 50% are on target for RGV. 5 shots outside the box for Tulsa, 4 for RGV. Shots inside the box at 40%, or excuse me, 4 for RGV, 2 for Tulsa. And the accuracy is almost even, 50% for RGV and 42.9% for the Roughnecks, as we get started here in the second half with the Roughnecks leading 1-0 over the RGV FC Toros. Jeremy Poplin, Dave Saunders with you. We're just taking a look at the radar here in Tulsa, and it's just kind of a leading edge as the rain has started to fall here at 1-0 Field. I would assume that would mean some of the people in the berm section will have to move in here towards the actual stadium. A lot of people have huddled underneath the awning of the stadium here at 1-0 Field.
What I can tell you, Pop, is that me and Charlie Ward are feeling very much at home with the rain falling, so we're okay.
Say, you're right back at home.
That's right. Charlie Ward's from the Midlands, Birmingham. Good player. But as we said, they've been able to keep him fairly quiet. He's playing deeper than I thought he would. I thought he would play a bit further forward, but he's kind of sitting in front of the back 4 for the Toros, but it's the Roughnecks who've got the throw-in on the right-hand side.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Coach Vaught is coming out of the locker room. He's elected to, he didn't want to ruin his suit, so he's taking his on now to kind of deflect some of the rain.
And he'll walk past the roustabouts and no doubt get a great ovation from them. What a great start for him. 1.5 games, and so far, so good.
There's Garcia that plays to the outside. Kai Green up off the back line. Robert Sagal spent some time at Temple and also Penn State. Green's cross attempt is deflected. Don't let the rain fool you, as Byers has it directly in his mitts. Those are, you can see now on the camera angle, those are some pretty big raindrops that are falling here in Tulsa. We thought we were going to be able to hold off some of this rain, but unable to do so. Case & Associates is home for the Roughnecks players when they're not on the pitch, and you can look for Case or any apartment needs that you might have. You can find Case & Associates online at caseusa.com. So Tussin, touch there to Kaffa. Kaffa's driven ball bounces back out to him, and a half attempt at a volley there from Kaffa, just to the opposite side of the post.
There you see the four, it's a 4-2-3-1. It's a classic 4-2-3-1 formation. You see the front four all combining there. Rivas, Calistri, Kaffa's playing in between those two, and then Ian Seventussin up front. It's a really potent four, and it works so well because they're interchangeable in this 4-2-3-1 formation for Coach Vod.
There's Ward showing some pace with the ball, plays to the outside. Cross there, Byers has it. That was Murphy. Byers bouncing it. Putnam North is where Brian Byers is from. By the way, has the most wins and record for most shutouts for the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma. Has played well here in the first 2 matches of the season.
Yeah, looks good. It's only been beaten once so far in the season.
Garza's ball forward, settled there by Ugarte. Giveaway and then a slip down. Bird got the first touch on it. Now the Roughnecks defense has to fight back. Good job of winning that ball.
Similar start to the second half as it was to the first. That, the Taurus are getting plenty of possession. The Roughnecks just having to soak it all up at the moment and then get themselves into the game when they can.
Yeah, that was one of the areas where Coach Vod had talked about. Good job there, Magalhaes, as he steps in front of that would-be ball. Some of the points that Coach Vod made at halftime. Got to be careful of Garcia setting in behind there for the Roughnecks, and thought that at times maybe playing a tad bit too slow. More possession of the ball. Here's a good run towards the corner. Ball sent in across, looking for Ian. Can Ian get there in enough time? He will track this down. Plays it off for the defender and earns a throw-in.
Good play from Seventussin there, because he couldn't do much. Kimura was too far back for him to find, and also being marked by midfielder, so he did the next best thing, got a throw in.
There's a foul. Kosuke not happy about that. Kyle Murphy immediately went over to kind of shake hands with Kosuke, and he was not having any of it. Referee over.
And the assistant referee doing very well there, stepping in as well. And it hasn't been that kind of game at all. And but the main thing is that Kaffa can drive a really good, dangerous ball in here. Be looking to drive this one in on that 6-yard line pop, in between the last defenders and the keeper, and make it very difficult for them. Of course, knowing Kaffa as we do now, he could well go for goal as well. So we'll wait and see what he's got up his sleeve.
See what the violinist has here. Hand up. Referee Freeman Have to settle down some of the contact happening there. Here's Kaffa's ball, driven towards the back post, and the keeper has it. And Guoxia quickly on the outlet, and nice hustle there from Fernandez to get back over the midway line and knock that one free.
That's my point about Fernandez. He's the guy that does all that sort of dirty work that's got to be done, and he did it extremely well there. Just a note on Kaffa's free kick, by his own standards, just a little bit too close to the keeper. Just wanted to be a couple of yards back.
Rivas. Oh, nice flick back. Kosuke now, step over. Creates some space, left-footed ball. Just couldn't get it in over the top of Kai Green, who was tracking back. Two steps back to head this one forward. Here's Ward. RGV trying to catch him on the counter. Kyle Murphy. Got a touch on it, leaves it there outside the 18, the blast, and off of the deflection, and then a light touch. But Byers there, oh, dangerous. That was Luna that just got a piece of it.
It was almost similar to the goal the Roughnecks scored, wasn't it? With the ball sort of hitting players in the area. And in the end, Luna felt he might have been just tugged back there. Here's the ball coming, thunderous shot in there, and then Luna just saying, was he pulled back then by Ugarte? I don't think he was, and the Roughnecks survive.
I feel that was classy defending by Ugarte. You got to take what you can get in an instance like that.
Me too.
Off of the deflection. Ian got there briefly. This will be a throw-in now for RGVFC.
Game still very much in the balance. We were making the point at half-time that the Roughnecks could get a second one, you know, just to put a bit of daylight between these two sides. But at 1-0, of course, it's so close.
Here's Ward. Nice ball play there. Luna had to run onto it, but Byers off of his line. Quick decision there from Byers. Came out and got it. No hesitation whatsoever.
Good play from Ward. He's a tidy player, isn't he? He very rarely gives the ball away. 67 completed passes in last week's game, so we were told on the stats, and that was him just venturing forward a little bit more, which maybe the coach would want him to do in this second half a little bit more.
I want to bring up a point about Colin Fernandez, and I spent some time not only with Louisville but with St. Louis. Played 110 minutes in 3 appearances for St. Louis, and I believe 4 appearances for Louisville in the past. And you know, the GM of the Fire, Nelson Rodriguez, said that they just hadn't been satisfied with what they've been able to do for Colin. He said it was not in any negative way contributed to that just because of injury, but he said that because partially through injury, the other part is the decisions that he has the right to take, and including, you know, other opportunities. In the end, he said that just feel like that maybe the club hasn't done enough for him as of yet as a player, and he is someone that they are still keeping an eye on. But it was his injury problems and his ankle that really kind of slowed him at one point. But they are going to keep a crucial eye as that one skims over the top of the bar from distance.
Do you know, I wasn't counting, but I would suggest around about 10 to 12 passes there before the shot from Luna there. A really, really impressive team move. There's Luna turning onto his left foot, the number 9. Good
oh, that angle on that shot, wow.
Yeah, did well. That was Kaffa-like, wasn't it? And, you know, keeper Byers was pleased to see that one go over the bar. But impressive opposition here tonight. But the Roughnecks still ahead by 1-0.
As the rain continues to pour down here at One Oak.
Yeah, I was just noticing the ball, you know, going across the grass. You can see the water flipping up now, can't you?
Kind of skid across the top of the turf here. We went and walked on the pitch prior to the match. In outstanding shape is the pitch here at One Oak. There's
Looked
a
great.
foul.
It looked really great. Wonderful job again. And Pop, we're going to say it many times this season, but well done to all the ground staff and everybody connected with this wonderful organization. Really impressive.
And the infield will remain in place even through next weekend when we welcome in the Sacramento Republic. And your friend, Mr. Paul Buckle.
And everybody's friend, Mr. Sammy Ochoa, as
Absolutely.
long as he doesn't score against the Roughnecks, of course. But welcome back to Sammy as well. It'd be good to see him again.
Yeah, watched a bit of Sammy last weekend. Had a goal and an assist as they went to Starfire and won.
Yeah, Sammy looking good, and I watched that game too, and they seem to play with a front three, as we were discussing before this broadcast. Sacramento in town next week, but the Roughnecks have got to see this one through, and then it would be great if they went in 2-0 to Sacramento. Of course, beat them, 4-0 last season in the last game of the regular season.
Roughnecks did not have numbers there. They kind of slowed it up just a bit near the halfway line, and Sylvan Tussin cannot hold it on the far touch line. Results in a throw-in now, and we're going to have a sub coming up here in just one moment. There's Garza. Garza taking his time. And at the next opportunity, we are going to get to see one of the newest members of the Roughnecks. That is Brian Wright. Brian is on loan from the Revolution. 20th overall pick in the Super Draft is Brian Wright. He's a star at Vermont. There's a foul from behind, and Kosuke is...
Well, those two have had quite a battle, haven't they? They had one
They
down
have,
near
quite a
us,
bit,
and
yeah.
now they've gone to the other end of the field. They're both injured.
I will say this. Kosuke is a feisty player. A very physical player, even for his size.
Yeah, he just got, Murphy just got across the back of him there, didn't he? But to be fair, they've just shaken hands, and, you know, they're okay, and I don't think they want to lie around in the rain too much, Pop.
So this is Sylvan Tussin, who will be subbed out, and we will get to see Brian Wright again from Vermont. 20th overall pick in the first round.
Sylvan Tussin, a little bit disappointed there with himself, I think. A couple of bad touches in the last few minutes, but he can hold his head high. He's worked hard for the cause. Hasn't got on the score sheet tonight. That's not going to happen every week, but he held the ball up well, and he did well, you know, playing with those other three that we mentioned earlier on the commentary. I think he's had a good night, and he can hold his head up high, having played an hour of this game.
Now, Brian Wright, we are not exactly sure how long the loan will last for Brian Wright, but New England said that he needed minutes, and that's why he's here in Tulsa. He did help guide the Vermont Catamounts to the second round of the NCAA tournament this fall. So we will see what the young man with the Rook can do with the opportunity here in Tulsa.
Yeah, that's a outrageous effort from Cafa. A long way out there, almost halfway line. Yeah, Brian Wright's only 22, isn't he? Born in Toronto. So we'll see what he's got. Here he is. He's obviously straight swap for Sylvan Tussin, so he's the lone striker in the 4-2-3-1. He's had an outstanding game for me at the back. Ugarte, Pop. I think he's a class act for the Roughnecks. Got himself involved in everything. Good defensive play. Got himself on the score sheet last week, but his defensive duties tonight have been outstanding, in my opinion.
'62nd minute here with the Roughnecks leading 1-0. Court Furniture has played a key role in making the Roughnecks players feel at home in Tulsa. Court Furniture, there when you need it and gone when you don't, as the rain continues to hammer down.
And the brave folks still sit out on the grass.
There's Wright to Calistri. Oh, Calistri tried to dump it off. Wright continued that run in through the back line. Almost a giveaway. Ayala could not control it. Oh, there's a hard challenge coming up, and this will be our first booking. And Corrales is not happy.
Well, when I played the game, and I don't want to harp on about the old days, that would have been all right. And the coach would have been saying, great, well done, Dave. You've got the ball and you've got the man. But unfortunately, these days, the referee, quite right to show the yellow card, in my opinion. Because if you watch, the challenge comes in here, the slide is first, and that's a dangerous challenge in today's game. As I said, a few years back, no problem. But today, referee spot on, yellow card.
The game has changed. Another foul.
I think he's refereed it very well tonight. Very well. I'm sure the coaches might not agree with me, but, you know, I think he's been on top of everything, and that's the first yellow card, and it's taken, what, 63 minutes. And there's been challenges in the game. He's let some go, but that one was... And, you know, we used to say the referees allow for the conditions, ref, you know, because you're going to go sliding in on grass like this when the rain's coming down. But, you know, that's a yellow card all day in today's game.
Look at Garza, who's up. Ball swinging in. Headed out of the box. Slipped in over the top from Kaffa. Calistri settles with the chest. Ball across the center of the pitch. Fernandez to it first. Here's Wright. Wright has some space. Sets himself up with the left, has a go. And that deflection off of the defender will result in the corner. And I believe, is this the first corner of the night for the Roughnecks? It is.
I think it is, Pop. Yeah, yeah. They've had to defend a few, but Kaffa's coming across this near side to us, and it's going to be a corner.
By the way, you brought up Garza. He's the new face. He's not, though, to local fans there in South Texas. He was actually born in McAllen. Played for the U.S. under-17s and under-20s. He's on loan from Tigres in Liga MX. It's Kaffa. His resume is stacked. 33 appearances there in the second division in Spain. Real Betis of La Liga. On the team of the week this week in USL for the first time. It's the left-footed ball. Flipped out directly in front of Rivas.
Yeah, Rivas was about to pull the trigger there, but the defender did well. It's interesting there. Kaffa wanted to take the corner from this near side to us, so he could swing it in with his left foot, but the referee made him go to the other side of the field. There's the foul comparison. Tulsa 10, the opponents RGV 11.
At least through that low ball there. Unable to link up with Wright. Kai Green now. One touch, long ball forward, looking for Bird. Can't link up with him. Kosuke settles. Ugarte now. Ugarte, his ball a tad bit heavy, all the way back to the keeper. And Guoxia. Magalese.
Still the game on a knife edge, Pop. You know, 1-0, we keep saying it. I made the point at half-time, a second goal for the Roughnecks early in the second half would have been good. That has now gone by, and they have some defending to do here. And they've got to keep that back door shut, and as the coach said, he doesn't want any soft goals conceded. But the second one, you know, would be really good for the Roughnecks to get pretty soon, wouldn't it?
Eric Bird's been a tad bit quiet tonight for RGV. He had a goal last season against Tulsa. 6 goals and 1 assist for Mr. Bird last year. Cleared out by Sagal. 67th minute. Fans, make sure you tune in to the USL's weekly show on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern for the latest news and information from around the league. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. You can check out uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders with you, broadcasting from the Bank of Oklahoma booth here at One Oak Field. We are glad that you can join us with the Roughnecks leading 1-0. The goal in the 31st minute by Joey Calistri. There's Bird that will be whistled for the foul right outside the edge of the circle.
Yeah, it's interesting. Bird's playing more up the middle of the field for the Toros now. They're wearing 10. In the first half, he had some space, especially early on the left-hand side. But playing much more up the middle now as they push 2 up front. More of a 4-2-2. 4-4-2, excuse me.
Modu had to get back quickly. Will be a throw-in now for Tulsa, back in front of the bench. A lot of expectations on this RGV side. Oh, nice ball chipped into the box, running onto it, across, and Byers smothers it there towards the front post. Maybe if that ball would have been pulled back a little bit more centrally, Bird could have run onto it, but elected to go near the front post. But again, a beautiful ball played in, and there's Luna.
Good ball in from Luna, but that's class goalkeeping, because on a wet, slippery night, that could have easily been spilled. But no, not with Mr. Byers. He got everything behind it and on it.
Talked about the expectations. Junior Gonzalez taking over as head coach for RGV. Wilmer Cabrera now with the Houston Dynamo. Got to watch the opening night game, and now we'll have a booking. Kosuke. And the referee says he wasted a tad bit too much time, and Kosuke kind of gives a look, shakes it off.
Yeah, delaying tactics, says the referee.
So Kosuke booked here in the 70th. Fernandez, nice touch in front of Bird. Fernandez with a touch. Kaffa almost got there. Kai Green just one step quicker. Well, it hasn't been that much more the possession for the Roughnecks. I know the way that Coach Vaught wanted in the second half. Maybe some of the elements have played a little bit of a role in that.
And it might be my imagination, but I haven't seen Kaffa on the ball as we want him to be, pulling the strings. And, the opposition have had a lot of possession and have kept it away from him, to be honest. So well played them, but they still trail by a 1-0 to the Tulsa Roughnecks. "20 minutes left.
There's Kaffa in front of Segal. Argentinian is the easy ball back. Shitama. Boy, in a tight corridor there was Kaffa, and still found a way to come away with it towards the byline. Oh, a touch there from behind. That's good defending from Kai Green to avoid that contact there from behind. And that's a tricky play because Corrales was coming up off the back line, and Kai Green just got a touch on it to knock it over the byline.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Pop. It could easily ended in disaster and tears there, as the Roughnecks could have been awarded a penalty. We're going to get a Roughneck substitution, which Pop will tell you about in a minute, because they've got their second corner now of the night, which Mr. Kaffa's gone across to the left-hand side to take. I think Ayala's going to be the man that's withdrawn.
Yeah, and it's going to be Bourgeois that comes in for Ayala.
So a kind of a defensive move, if you want to put it that way.
Now, Bourgeois has a bit of history with RGV, spent some time with them last year. As a matter of fact, 6 games with RGV. Homegrown player, signed with the Dynamo, and of course, straight out of the University of Tulsa, former Golden Hurricane member.
Wonderful athlete, Bradley Bouchois, and he's going to try and get on the end of this.
Off of the deflection, outside the 18 now. Creates some space inside the box. One touch there, cuts back to the inside, and maybe one touch too many there from Fernandez.
Again, Pop. Oh, a tremendous effort. We'll have a look at the replay of that one in a minute. But yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. He just did one too many there, Colin Fernandez, and he's looking to the sky. He knows he made a mistake. Substitution for the Toros.
There's Bourgeois, who just checked in. Actually got the first goal in RGV history. Started 81 games at TU.
Well, credit the Toros coach. He's losing by a goal to nil, but he's put another man up front. Looks like they're going to go 3 up top now. So unless they're matching up with the 4-2-3-1.
There's a foul on the backside of the play. J.J. Kastner was the sub on for Ruben Luna.
Pretty big guy, isn't he? He's gone up front there with the blonde hair.
Dangerous there as the defender was tracking back to keep that one off the back line as Byers was outside of his area. And that's what the defender is there for, to make sure to back his keeper up in an instance like this. You'll watch the ball chipped out, just got a touch on it. And that was Bourgeois, who just had checked in to keep that one from finding its way in the back of the net.
And Pop, I can tell you the change in the formation is positional-wise. It's still a 4-2-3-1, but Bradley Bourgeois has gone alongside Ugarte at the heart of the defence, and Jadema has moved inside the midfield there alongside Fernandez. So it's as you were, 4-2-3-1, but just with Bourgeois at centre-back.
And you're starting to get the sense now that one is a maybe a careless giveaway there, as Green couldn't get to it in enough time, but RGV has really settled in here in the second half, controlling much more of the possession.
Kind of similar story to their game last week, isn't it? That they conceded the goal and then they had the lion's share of possession. So they've had a lot of it here in Tulsa, but still it's Tulsa that have got the lead.
To the opposite side, looking there from Murphy. Bourgeois finds Coffin, center circle. Oh, that's actually Modu, who's up off the back line. Modu showing there in the center of the pitch. Bourgeois will create some space through the center circle as that ball deflected, brought it back down. Calistri now.
Roughnecks finding it hard to find Mr. Right up front at the moment.
There's Warden. Dribbling through there is Murphy, and that attempt directly at Byers. Byers had to take a couple of steps there towards his right on the post there, and now we've got two players that are down. One of those is Murphy, who hops up.
I think it's Ugarte.
It is Ugarte that's down. Referee is holding off.
Purely accidental. It was after the shot from Murphy. Very well smothered again by Mr. Byers in the goal. Again on a wet, slippery night. That was a fantastic piece of goalkeeping, getting everything behind it. And both players fell to the ground. Ugarte's okay. And as we said, he's so important to the Tulsa Roughnecks cause. There is the shot. And in fact, it was just on a follow-through there of Murphy's leg. I think it might have been knee to knee, or leg, certainly leg to leg, which isn't that pleasant. And both players are okay, thankfully, and we go on.
Yeah, there's a look at Kastner there, right next to Ugarte. Kastner was selected by the Dynamo in the 3rd round, 47 overall of the Super Draft there in 2016. Played his college ball at Clemson, California native. Great ball there from Garcia off of the service from Ward. Into the 77th minute. There's a turn from Warden. Turned away, settles. RGV just kind of probing now. Long ball here over the top, finds Kaffa. Corner of the 18. Kaffa will pull this one back. Now his cross. Up off the back line is Calistri. Calistri plays. Oh, has Rivas there, and the defender closed down quickly. And Modu could not connect with Kaffa on the backside of that play.
And Kaffa's having more success just pulling wide the left of the three. Rivas and him swapped over there. Kaffa's been playing down the middle as he is now back in that position, but he's had the most success in the second half wide on the left.
This game is still anyone's at this point. 1-0 lead for Tulsa off the goal in the 31st minute from Calistri. The turn from Kastner. Just subbed on. Splits the two defenders, then Kosuke comes away.
There's Jadama playing in that deep midfield role now. Bradley Bouchois playing behind him as one of the centre-backs. Jadama's on there to try and stifle any attacks.
How about those tight space passes there right along the touchline from Tulsa to maintain possession?
Yeah, and I think Wright had a bit of a case there that he was impeded while going to the ball, but we play on.
Long ball there looking for Bird. Failed to mention that Bird was selected by Philadelphia in the Super Draft. Top of the 18, low driven ball directly at Byers, and he smothers it. Byers had to make sure that he got to the ground in a hurry as Murphy had the one touch on that ball.
Yeah, real sliding shot. First time here from Murphy, but again, class goalkeeping. And with respect to the goalkeeper last week from Colorado, what a difference, because Byers has not had to make any outstanding saves, but everything he's done has been solid, and he's got everything behind it on a wet night. Fantastic goalkeeping and good for the Tulsa cause.
Ugarte. Calistri brings it down with the head. Modu. Somehow finds its way through. Back to Judama. Now he's fouled from behind. That would have given RGV a bit of numbers there on the counter, but the referee makes the call as Ward is the guilty party.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if he hadn't have given that free kick, they would have been 2-on-1 there.
Kaffa with the turn. The Roughnecks find an opportunity. Contact from behind. Referee says play on. Calistri is over here, has some space on the opposite side of his defender. Malgali's, his driven ball will find its way all the way back inside the box for Byers. Some of the other scores. Colorado Springs and Oklahoma City are 1-1 in the 81st minute. Tulsa trying to go two up here. Calistri settles. Oh, just to the opposite side. He was trying for that upper 90 to the far post and just missed, having the brace on the evening.
Calistri got himself into the space there. Here's the ball in from the left-hand side. Here's Calistri, control in the D, left-footed curler. That was not far away.
Halftime, San Antonio with the 2-0 lead on Los Dos. St. Louis has the 2-1 lead on the Ottawa Fury. Still coming up later tonight is Reno and Vancouver, and also Sacramento and Orange County.
Of course, Colorado, Oklahoma goes ahead after all the fans We're offered a free hot dog for clearing the snow off the field.
Believe
would you
a ticket, a hot dog, and a soda to clear some of the snow off of the field that Colorado Springs had today.
And then you get to see the beautiful game played. So what more could you ask for? Well done to all those fans as well.
Modu to Fernandez.
Caffer just going a yard early there.
Just a tad bit. We're going to have a sub here coming up for RGV. We'll have Jorginho James as he will make his way on for Garza. First opportunity to see the Jamaican. Never afraid. Dive in or the tackle or knock an opponent off the ball. Been impressed with his long ball delivery. The way that he's improved. There's a handball. Aguiles plays it off in the hand of Calistri. This series at 1-1-1. Between the two sides. Also trying to hang on here with a 1-0 lead. Soccer fans, Nike's the official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. They throw in their midfield.
Really important now, the next 7.5 minutes, the Roughnecks really work hard off and on the ball. No opportunities on Byers' goal would be ideal. But they're going to have to soak up some pressure, and they're going to have to use attacks like this.
Kaffa settles as James tracking him. Nice little give and go there. Kaffa with the one touch around the defender. Kaffa inside the box now, one touch there. Has Modu. Modu sets himself up on the tee. Oh, the ball towards the back post, and the defender was there to send it over the top of the bar. Kai Green saved the day for RGV because the Roughnecks had two players that were there and the opportunity to finish.
We keep saying when Kaffa's on the ball, things happen. And that was a delightful little ball. And then here's Mo bashing the ball into the box. Good defending from Kai Green, you have to say. That was outstanding defending. Corner to the Roughnecks, which of course runs the clock down. But I keep saying it, when it's an obvious thing to say, Kaffa's your best player and you need him on the ball. And when he's on the ball, things happen.
Here's the Argentinian service to the outside. And that was not a well-struck ball. That was Rivas. Played his college ball at UNLV. Rivas played with another former Roughneck, Julian Portugal, who was with the 2015 version of the Roughnecks.
Wonderful tackle there from Colin Fernandez. And again,
that was right. That just kind of had the unfortunate mistouch there. Tried to let that ball play through. Here's James. Is it back inside the circle? Sagal now. To Ward. Kastner. Kastner cutting between the two and sends a fired shot directly at Byers. Byers had to knock that one down to the ground. Still has it though.
Yep, good play from Kastner. Here he is with the ball, comes in field onto his right foot, hits a good curling shot, but again, I say, the goalkeeper's done it 4 times now, gets everything behind it, no danger.
This one's sent out of play. Fans, make sure to tune in to the USL's weekly show on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern for the latest news and information from around the league. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air USL Game of the Week. Check out uslsoccer.com for dates and times. There's a throw-in for Brian Wright. Calistri. Wright was just on. Saw the referee's assistant point. Calistri has some space here before the byline and lets it trickle over. And good play, heads-up play there from Calistri, not to panic. And we'll have another sub now. This time for Tulsa. Our first opportunity to see Dekovic. Ute Dekovic.
Dekovic, the closer. Let's hope he can close things out. 2.5 minutes. I would have thought it's like for like. I think he'll just come on for Rivas here on the right-hand side of the 3. Well, possibly on the left. Referee's saying, I've got the clock stopped. So, let's hope the young man has a good debut. He's got just a couple of minutes.
Kaffa's cross. Oh, keeper comes out to punch that one away. Near the PK area.
Good goalkeeping. Well, there's Colin Fernandez again. I don't want to keep boring people, but if I'd give him my man of the match pop straight away. He's just been everywhere. I know that sometimes man of the match isn't given to the unsung heroes, but to me, he's just won every single tackle and he's put some passes in. He's just been outstanding.
Dekovic has an intriguing story. Came to the United States. His dad was here on a work trip and sent his video to the coach at UNC Charlotte. And that's how Dekovic came to play college ball here stateside.
Shows how it can all start, doesn't it? Just a video and a coach who believes in you, and away you go on your career.
Danger area now in the 89th minute. Tulsa needs to be able to defend this corner here. Sit in a bit too much over the top out of the leaping Kai Green. Still in possession of RGV. All the way back to the center circle. See the water spin off the top of that ball. Cross sent in. Both players go down. Oh, there's a blast that's well over the top of the bar, and the Roughnecks seem to have survived this at least push here as we get set to close out regulation, and we will find out exactly how much stoppage time has been added. Just a few moments away from 3 more points to start the season for the Roughnecks. And I have been told by our producer, Alan, that we will have 3 minutes of stoppage time when the board goes up.
Can we take this opportunity to say thank you to Alan as well and all his team who worked so tirelessly to produce the pictures for us to sit here and commentate on this privileged game. Well done to all the team. Fantastic production. Great job, guys.
Cross that's headed away and then cleared out of the 18. Kaffa settles. Had immediate pressure, did Kaffa. RGV. Trying to find an equalizer. Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders with you from the Bank of Oklahoma broadcast booth here at One Oak Field. Roughnecks off the opening week 4-1 victory. Leading here 1-0. There's a whiff there in the box. And the quick throw in. Green with some space. Well, that ball almost found its way through. Still unable to get a solid clearance.
desperate defending, but well done for the guys putting their bodies in the line
there. It is. Well, Wharton had an opportunity there for a minute to try to settle that. Kastner as well in the vicinity.
Some great blocks, though, from the boys in orange, you have to say. We've got a minute and a half left.
Here's James and his long ball. Knocked it down directly for Wharton, and here's a foul now. And that is absolutely in a tough spot. Ugarte comes over to tell Freeman, and Freeman just kind of waves him off. We'll get a look here at the foul.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. It was Kimura didn't get enough on his header, did he? And he headed it back in field. So real danger here. And Garcia's the man that looks as though he's going to curl this one towards goal. So can the Roughnecks get a head or a leg or a chest in the way? Can the keeper pull off a fantastic save, or are we going to see a late equaliser here for the Toros? Everybody back for Tulsa, and drama right at the end of the game, Pot.
Referee has everyone pushed back, has them in the right place, and Garcia will be the man. Can he curl it around the wall? It's driven directly into the wall. It comes off the end of the wall there. I believe that was Kosuke who was on the receiving end of that, off of the deflection. Well, approaching that 3 minutes.
Kosuke committed the foul, and he got the leg in the way there. Well done to him.
Maybe one final service. There's a push in the back that will be called. That's a good job by the referee there to see that push in the back, as I believe that was Wharton that was trying to clear some space for himself. Actually, no, that's Kastner. Byers sends it forward. There's the whistle. And the Roughnecks have added 3 more points to their total here in week number 2 of the 2017 USL season. And you can see the celebration begin there as the players go over to hug each other and let the orange smoke fly. They're from the roustabouts behind the goal, as they never left, even in this driving rain. RGV was game coming up from South Texas, and we saw a pretty fantastic match between these two.
You might see the rain falling, but you can see how much it means to the players and the fans. 2 out of 2 wins. Handshakes all over the place. The Roughnecks got in a huddle. The orange smokers go in. There's coach, who we'll get a word with in a minute, hopefully. But, you know, sometimes you win narrow games 1-0. You have to soak up possession. You know, it happened to the opposition Toros last week. They had the lion's share of possession. They still ended up losing the game 1-0. I think it was a bit closer on possession. I thought the Roughnecks did control certain parts of the game. Second half, I think, probably belonged to the visitors a little bit. We didn't really create too much on the Toros goal in the second half. But, you know, we'll take the victory. 1-0. It's not always, you know, 4-1. You can't get that every week. 1-0, we'll take it. 3 points.
And the roustabouts will have the difficult opportunity or difficult task of finding out who our man of the match is here at the end of this one. But I know you've got several candidates in mind.
Well, 2 I'll mention, okay? I've already mentioned him in commentary. I thought Colin Fernandez was absolutely outstanding in the unsung hero work. The other one I would go for was Ugarte. I thought he was a rock at the back. He survived early scares with some good tackles. He was, you know, maybe committed a couple of fouls. The referee said 1 more and you're going to get a yellow card. He settled into the game. I thought he was a rock at the back. That's who I would go for. Quite often the man of the match does go for an attacking player, but those 2 for me in a narrow win, Pot, 1-0. That's who I would go for.
Let's head down to the field to not only Paige Martin, but Raul Alvarez as well, who is standing by with a victorious Dave Vaudreuil.
David, buenas noches. Un partido bastante difícil, ¿verdad?
Sí, muy difícil. Ellos están siempre jugando entre líneas y hay problemas para nosotros. El 13 García está siempre libre, está jugando muy bien este equipo, pero defendimos muy bien y anotó un gol. Y yo creo que estamos un shutout.
Lo más importante es que continuéis líderes a estas alturas de la temporada, nada más empezar.
Sí, el más importante es 3 puntos. Estamos luchando, trabajando, haciendo con un nivel muy alto y estoy muy feliz y me voy a saludar a la Barra Brava.
Y el próximo día con el Sacramento a confirmar esto.
Sí, muy difícil. Primero 3 partidos contra 3 en la liguilla el año pasado. Colorado, RGV y el próximo contra Sacramento. Tenemos que seguir para levantar el nivel y mejorar.
¿Y qué les dices a estos aficionados que lloviendo no se han movido del sitio en todo el partido?
No, que bárbaro. Están aquí en la lluvia, nadie está saliendo y estamos creciendo la afición.
Muchas gracias, David.
Igual.
Coach, congratulations. Even despite the rain in the second half, your team was able to hold off the Toros and pull away with a 1-0 victory. How would you evaluate your team's performance tonight?
You know, I thought it was a very big win. Like Colorado Springs and like Sacramento next week, these are 3 playoff teams, you know, and it wasn't pretty at times, and they're a very good team, and they made it difficult for us, but we came in with a shutout, you know, Byers with another shutout, and the team very strong defensively. And then when it was time for us to play, we were very dangerous. We could have scored another goal or 2. I think we were a little unlucky not to get 1 or 2 goals, but those are the games you have to win. You know, we said if we could give up 0 goals or 1 goal, we're going to win a ton of games and we're going to make the playoffs. So we got to keep it. When it's not easy to play, we still got to find a way to win and not give up goals.
Right, and Byers and your back line earned the shutout tonight. How do you think defensively your team looked in tonight's match?
I thought they were fantastic. You know, I'm always screaming because I want them to mark up every player, you know, all 10 players at all times and be 100% secure. But, you know, we're keeping to our goals, which is give up no goals. And they're getting better and better. And the team is buying in. You know, we got 8, 9, 10 guys working hard on defense. And that's what it takes to win and get to the playoffs and win championships.
Right, thanks, Coach. Congrats again. All right, Dave and Pop, we're sending it back up to you.
All right, thank you, Paige, for that. And you heard Coach Vaught there mention how 3 playoff teams here to start this season with Colorado Springs, then RGV and Sacramento next week coming in. And one of his keys this year was only wanting to give up all around a goal a game or less than a goal per game. And so far through the first 2 weeks, only 1 goal allowed, kind of fitting right in line with what Coach Vaught wanted. And he's right. You know, sometimes it's the simplest comments that make the most sense. Hey, when you don't allow teams to score, chances are you're going to have an opportunity to win. And wasn't beautiful tonight at times. Other times it was. More importantly, though, come away with 2 more points and now 6 points at the top of the board.
Pop, at the end of the season, we'll look down and we'll see second game of the season. It says Roughnecks 1, Toros 0. And that's all that counts. People will quickly forget how much possession Toros had. They were a decent side. They came in and they played the game in the right way. But at the end of the day, he's right. I thought defensively, he said to Paige there, you know, we were good defensively. I thought Byers did well. He got everything behind him. My man of the match, Ugarte, or one of them, I thought did well. And then you go in front of them. You got those 2 sitting midfielders that did so well. And can I just say as well, isn't it fantastic to have a coach? He's bilingual as well. You know, he's just a great guy, and he's sprinted off from that interview and he's thanked the fans who sat there in the rain. And as you said, Pop, it wasn't pretty at times, but boy, 3 points, so important. Bring on Sacramento.
And now look at the players signing autographs and the fans that have decided to stick around in the rain here this evening and making sure that they get those autographs done before Sacramento comes into town next week. We're going to go down on the field here in a moment with Justin Gorski as they get set to name the man of the match. And they will have that opportunity coming up here in just one moment. They're trying to find their man of the match right now. He's swamped by some of the fans trying to sign autographs right now as they're trying to go through and find it. And I believe it's going to be Brian Byers. And, you know, Coach Vaught talked about Byers tonight. You had several things to mention to him. That was not easy tonight with the conditions of the ball, having to knock down some of those very hard-driven shots. I thought Brian Byers stepped up to the table tonight, and it's nice to see him rewarded with the man of the match. And we'll throw it down live to Justin Gorski, who has the man of the match with the Roustabouts. Justin, take it away.
All right, I am down here for the Dick's Sporting Goods Man of the Match, brought to you by the Roustabouts. I'm down here, I got Jesse, I got Cody, and I got Josh from the Roustabouts. All right, Jesse, tell us who tonight's Roustabouts Man of the Match is.
Our man of the match has to go to the goalkeeper tonight, and that is Byers. Byers, I don't know if you can tell, but it is raining right now. How did that change how you guys played tonight?
I don't think it really changed much. We just got to watch the skip and just kept playing how we do, and that's how we dealt with it well. So.
Once again, congratulations, great game today, and you are the man of the match.
He's got the helmet there, and he's got the $50 gift certificate from Dick's Sporting Goods. Now, Byers, we got something special here tonight. For the second win in a row, the Roustabouts got something special. I got the president of the Roustabouts down here. Josh, why don't you tell us a little bit more what we got going on tonight?
Ricky, why don't you come over here? So last year, Ricky didn't have a beard at all, and he swore he wouldn't shave again until the Roughnecks won 2 in a row. That has obviously happened. Can I get it from the Roustabouts, please?
We got 1 or 2 beards coming off.
Just one tonight. So
Brian's mom is here. I think she asked me if I could get him to cut his too.
Hey, whatever for Brian's mom. So Brian, I'm gonna hand you over these scissors. If you could get me right above that ponytail holder right now.
There it is, the cut's coming. There it is, Roughnecks Nation. The cut is made 2 in a row. Guys, let's send it back upstairs to you to close out tonight's game.
All right. Now, I have to give a little background. That's the capo of the Roustabouts. He came up to me before the season started and says, I've made a bet with the Roustabouts that if we win 2 matches in a row, I will shave the beard off completely. He's been growing that for a number of years. And you saw tonight, Brian Byers goes and gets to clip off the beard tonight for the victorious Tulsa Roughnecks. We'll close out tonight's match with a look at some of the highlights here as Brian Byers was called into action early. He is the Dick's man of the match. There's a shot on the opposite end for the Roughnecks. Danger at times, Dave Saunders, and Byers right here with another class save as the ball was driven directly at him. And we'll see on the counterattack now. And behind, tracking down from behind, is Colin Fernandez. A little bit of the build-up from Kosuke, and that missed opportunity there from Ian. Kosuke making sure to slide in and take that one away from Escalante. Here's the shot that almost went in on the opposite side. And Rivas doing the yeoman's work on the opposite side. There's your man, Kaffa, knowing how important that he is. Turned away there by the Roughnecks defense. And here's Suvintussin with his shot and the goal there by Calistri, and that ended up being the game winner in the 31st minute. Directly there from the shot from Suvintussin, and Calistri finishes as Coach Vaught walks off the field tonight, victorious with the Roughnecks, winning 1-0 tonight over RGV. We've got an important game coming up next week with the Sacramento Republic.
I cannot wait for that one. 2 games, 2 wins. Let's bring on Sacramento, who were very, very potent force last season. Mr. Buckles in town as the coach. Mr. Ochoa's here. I can't wait to call it with you, my friend.
Roughnecks win 1-0 over the Rio Grande Valley Toros. Thank you to everyone here at One Oak for helping make it possible. We'll see you back here next week at One Oak Field with the Roughnecks trying to make it 3 in a row.